Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another video. Today we are here for another episode of Goattville Updates, and it's been a while since I made an updates video. I think it's been like 2-3 months or something. It was sometime in like October, and that was when I decided to come over here and start working on the city instead of the Italian mansion that I was doing before. And since then, we've just filled every week with with building episodes, and now I figured, you know what, I'm going to do an updates video for a little bit of a change, just to catch anyone up who's, missed a couple or all of the episodes, and just because, I feel like I've done enough progress to warrant an updates video. So I suppose we could get started. Like, all of our progress is over in the city, so I just started there because it gave us a nice lovely skyline. And we also got ourselves a visitor here joining us on the world. Bahamut's 15, just chilling around. Yeah, so he's just doing that. But over here in the city, this is where I've been doing the most of my progress, specifically over here by the museums that we've had over here. And aside from that, I don't think we've done anything else over there, no. But that's kind of going to be my future plans, to work over here, which we're probably going to start relatively soon, is we're going to start working on some additions to the city, just to make it a nice, a bit more of a city instead of just this single road that goes down. This is really the only thing that's finished right here. So we're going to expand the city because this is a part of the world that I really do like, and it'd be nice if we could expand it a little bit more. And I think I'll enjoy working on it a bit more than whenever these museums are. But this was the first museum that we were working on. This is the Museum of Goattville. If we make our way over here, there's a nice lovely sign right there, and it'll be facing the waterfront once the waterfront actually comes out to meet that. But it's got a nice lovely look to it, made of sandstone and birchwood, so a nice lovely color palettes for there. And if we make our way to the inside looks very nice, nice and clean and luxurious. It's got a nice lovely white tone to all of it, with some subtle detailings with the blue, as the flag is. But here inside of the main museum, I'm not too sure how much detail I should get into, because I mentioned it a lot in my previous episodes, and I hope this episode is not just going to be a complete waste, but I suppose I could just go over everything. This is the lobby area when you first come in. Here's the little places where you walk through to get to the metal detectors, just to make sure nothing illegal gets in. And then there's a little elevator over here, and then some stairs leading up to the other parts of the museum. And so far, out of everything, I only have one part really finished, and that is this one, which is the classical arts section of it. So we got paintings all over this wall with their proper names, and they're all created by the same person, so that was something interesting to find out. And then this one is my favorite painting right here, Match, which is why it's got the blue wool on top of it. And then right here, this is the song that we have right here, Sweden by C418, part of the original Minecraft soundtrack. And I would play it right now, but I don't think my volume is loud enough to capture all of it. So, should we just try it? Yeah, I don't see why not. Let's see if we can get anything to hear. Let's go into settings, audio. Yeah. It'd be under music, or I think it'd be under sound, so there we go. Let's turn the sound up, and let's actually mute that, if we can get that. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's lovely. Yeah, hopefully it caught it. I saw some of the levels going up on the audio display, so hopefully you got something out of that. But aside from that, over here is the lovely plesiosaur skeleton, my favorite part out of this entire museum. It just looks so amazing in this nice lovely hall right here. It's a nice lovely suspended into the air, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. Nice lovely plesiosaur, which was a dinosaur from, I don't know, some time ago. I'm not some expert on this, but they lived in the general area of where Goattville would be, so I decided I'd put that right up there. And it's Plesiosauria cordata from the Cretaceous period. I totally forgot I put that there, so so that helped us out a bit. And I think the Cretaceous was from, where was the Cretaceous from? I can't remember. All I know is that the Jurassic is the most recent, so Anyway, or are those not even related? I don't even know. But over here, this would be the entrances to like the catacomb areas, which I clearly have no plans for already, but I just thought that would be something interesting that we could put in. And then aside from that, the museum has pretty much got nothing else to it. There's this little bit up here, which kind of touches on the natural history part of the museum. So, you know, it's got a nice, lovely forest vibe to it, and here there'd be like signs and stuff like that, identifying all the different tree types and the flowers and stuff like that, but I clearly didn't get too far. All of this stuff is just in its draft phase. Meanwhile, over here is a bit more of a realistic visualization of what it will look like. So I think this turned out quite nice. Provides like a nice different vibe to everything else of it. And then down here, I'm not too sure if I'm going to continue with the natural history part of it, or if I'm just going to like turn this into like a food court or something like that. I think that would be something that would not go amiss. But aside from that, there's pretty much nothing else here in the museum, in this part of the museum. So I suppose we can move on to the other part. Right here, there's doors which lead out here, which move to the much better museum, the Museum of something. I don't even have a name for it, but here's a road going through, and there's a tunnel going up there, and I suppose we can go through the tunnel. Why not? Just because the tunnel exists there for a reason, so we're going to use it. So I didn't fix up that bit yet. I need to fix that up so that it's not as ugly as that. But here's the tunnel going over. It's probably a little bit too wide, but I didn't want to make it too narrow. And again, there's lovely windows lining up all of it. And then it leads right in here to the Museum of the Goats, is what we'll call it. And if we go out to the front of it, because this is where I think the museum really shines right now, is the whole facade of it. It just looks absolutely amazing. Look at that, that's beautiful. So it's kind of got a neoclassical sort of look to it, so it kind of got some Greek inspiration from it with the front right there, but it's also got some modern vibes to it. And I spent like, how long is it just building this part? I think I spent like a month and a half building that. Meanwhile, for this one, I've only spent like the past month on it. So, you know, this museum has been coming along quite quickly, actually. Yeah, you still in the game. So yeah, so this part's been coming along quite nicely, and it's actually like, not only has it been going by quicker, but it's also been like turning out a lot better. I really love the look of this so far. So this museum, kind of the exhibit that's happening right now, is the Gaia one. You know, museums kind of switch between themes. And Gaia was a community server on Minecraft, which I was a part of back in 2016. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a little thing about that, because, you know, the Gaia fan base is, it's still, it makes up a very small percentage of my viewers, but, you know, they're still there. And it leads into here, and there's nice, lovely rings going around with the hallways, and in the middle is the tree, which is a reference to the weeping willow from the original server. And it's not nearly as big, but it sort of looks somewhat similar to it. And the funny thing about this was, it was on Tuesday, on Christmas Eve, I believe, or was it Monday? I think it was Monday. I was working here on, actually I was playing some Star Wars Battlefront, when I got an invite to a party, and I joined the party, and there was a whole bunch of Gaia people there, you know, the little Gaia. During that time, I was working over here on the display for Wildwood, which was the country that I was a part of, and I had a couple other people join and worked on their own portions of it. But I'm assuming that you probably don't even know what the Gaia server is, or like what the whole premise of it was. It was basically like, you know, there was one world, but it was divided up into like 8 different countries, and each country had its own sort of, you know, ideologies and structure to it, and, you know, each person got to, like, each country sort of operated in a different way, and, you know, something quite nice. It was all in survival mode as well, so, you know, it kind of mattered a bit more what type of what type of country you were in. But I was part of Wildwood over here, and I suppose we can get into this one. It's got a nice, lovely rustic style to it, as Wildwood does, and of course it's not completely finished yet. I just sort of put down a general design of it. And in here we're going to have all different types of things, from like, you know, small references to the stuff that was there, as well as, you know, information bits, and, you know, I'm not too sure how museums are structured. But I did actually, on Thursday, I think it was, I went to a museum, so I got plenty of inspiration there. I was going to post a couple pictures on Twitter of it, but I guess I just forgot. I'll do it sometime soon. So that was the Wildwood bit over there, and moving on, these are some of the old Gaia comrades which built their own countries. And here we got Shiloh, which was the country that Bahamut was a part of, and then he and a couple other the country. Oh, look, there he is right there. How you doing? He's just chilling in the wheat. But Shiloh kind of had that what's the way to describe Shiloh's style? I don't even know what to describe it as, but here's their sign, Shiloh, where dreams come true. And they were Wildwood's neighbors, and we were very good companions in the Gaia, in the Gaia world. So he put up a few signs here. This one is actually like a bit, I think this one is completed, so this is kind of what Wildwoods will look like in the end. But points of interest, they had the town hall, the venue, that one you can see in episode 100 of Gaia. It looks very nice. The Bridge of Peace, and most importantly, the Golden Sunrise. I'm not too sure what any of that other stuff is, but I'm sure it must be important. Here's the first house of Shiloh. Looks very, very nice. It's a really lovely house right there. We got Mushroom here, just chilling for some reason. And Shiloh was a proud member of the Southern Alliance, which also included Wildwood. The leader of Shiloh was Auburn Andrew 35. He was the Bahamut 15 was the VIP of Shiloh. VIP. I mean the VP, Vice President, or I'm not too sure. Shiloh was all about architecture and wheat, and but later about working together and achieving more. Very lovely. So this is what Shiloh's is, and then over here we have one for New Eden. So this one is not too complete, but it's got that nice lovely mystical vibe as it did. So I'm probably gonna just go in there and finish that one. And then we got everyone's over here. Not all of the different countries are gonna have the same size, just because some we don't have that much information about, or some just weren't that important. But over here, these are the ones I have plans. Irene, which pretty much we're gonna have nothing in there because that country was pretty much dead. Oceanus, oh, I broke the sign accidentally, and Stormlandia, just because I'm not too sure exactly what else to put in there. And then over here we'll have Emerald Fields and Zenland right over here. I'm pretty sure for the majority of my audience right now, you don't even understand what I'm talking about right now, but for the few that do, it's good. It's all good. And then over here, on the third floor, there's this little hallway going over to inside of the tree section, which is a nice, lovely small model of what the Gaia meeting room looks like with all the different countries here lined up. So here's Wildwood's seat. Very lovely. And I have this iron door right there. To access that, you can actually climb through the tree. I forgot to mention that. There's this little door right here, and then a ladder which goes up here through the trunk of the tree and leads all the way up to here. And here we go, we're back up here. Anyway, aside from that, let's get into the actual interesting parts of this. Here's the nice lovely opening that I have right here. Really adds a very beautiful aesthetic to all of this. And on the top we have ourselves a glass dome. I'm not too perfect on making spheres or parts of spheres in Minecraft, so I tried my hardest and I got something similar to what I was looking for. If we look at it from the outside, we can see just how not perfect of a sphere it is, but I think it's close enough. And here's the view of the museum from the back. It's got a nice broad look to it. Very nice. We're gonna have to definitely cover all that stuff up. And then all of this space behind the museum, all of this space is going to be where the zoo is going to be. So that's going to be quite nice, and I feel like the back side of this museum would fit very nice in terms of some background scenery of the zoo. And then over here where the tunnel goes in, we got ourselves a nice lovely little columns going up here holding up this small little roof section right there. I think this looks very nice. Like if we go over here, something like this, and then we go here, that looks, I think it looks very lovely with the lights coming up from the grounds. Very nice, lovely look to it. And then if we go over here towards the front, we already saw the front. And then this far side is just a bit more, simple, broad. I didn't feel like putting in too much detail to it. And then up here on the top, we have ourselves the gardens on top. Very simple. And then here is the dome, as I just said. So I feel like it was we got it somewhat good. Here is where you can really see that it's not too perfect of a dome. But anyway, I think I've gone on for long enough about all of this stuff. In the next episodes, we're probably just going to finish up the museum, and then we're going to get into some more interesting stuff. So we're not just going to be working on the museum for the next year. We're going to actually start doing something more interesting. So hopefully we can get into some of this, mid to late January. At the very best, that'd be something very nice to get into. But aside from that, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.